Year 2026, and we can say that Tulum, Cancun, and Playa del Carmen are finished.
The Riviera Maya is dying. They can dress it up however they want, but the reality is different. When I arrived 14 years ago in Playa del Carmen on 5th Avenue, which is the main avenue where the shops, restaurants, and bars are, back then you would see seas of people walking around. Now you only see a handful of people.
Oh, that's true. It's a tough situation, but it's real. We Mexicans have neglected the Riviera Maya, once the goose that laid the golden eggs. We're about to create Acapulco 2.0. For those who don't know, Acapulco was the top tourist spot in Mexico. So what happened to it? It ended up forgotten, neglected, abandoned, and ruled by organized crime. And today, Acapulco isn't even a shadow of what it once was. Exactly the same thing is happening in the Riviera Maya. It's happening right now. We're making the same mistakes as in the past.
Why did this happen? Because Mexicans are arrogant and careless, and I'm going to show how this is true at every level, where Mexicans are arrogant and careless, obviously starting with the government. These Mexican cities didn't have money issues, yet had no infrastructure. They just took the money for themselves.
Very true. For example, Cancun Airport is the busiest in Latin America, but instead of modernizing or improving it, boom, the airport has leaks. The airport gets flooded. Just look at this. Cancun Airport gets flooded. Cancun Airport gets flooded. Guys, even the pipes are a mess. It's chaos, as people are saying here. The apparent pipe break in the restroom area of Terminal 3 for international flights at Cancun International Airport caused severe flooding in the hallways, a situation that was exposed on social media. A total mess. But well, after years, the government had a good idea: to build a bridge over the Nishupte Lagoon to speed up traffic in Cancun. Spectacular, right? Turns out these criminals, these delinquents obviously stole the money. They didn't build it properly, and the bridge hasn't even been inaugurated yet, and it already has cracks. They show on social media cracks in the Nishupte bridge. Users on social media have shared these photos, causing concern among drivers and local residents about the structural safety of the mega project. Here they also tell us, cracks in the Nishupte bridge force reinforcement of the project before its opening in Cancun. Look guys, this is extremely serious. The Nishupte Lagoon has a peculiarity, and it's that it's full of crocodiles. If the bridge fails and the car falls into the water, well, I don't know what will happen to the people, but surely in a matter of minutes or maybe even seconds, they'll be surrounded by hundreds or thousands of crocodiles. So you can get an idea of how serious this situation is.
It's not about making the city look nice, no, it's about letting people go to the beach, but then they let the beach die. Their main solution for sargassum is to collect and bury it in the sand, creating piles of decaying sargassum. No efficient solution to that problem. In fact, there were companies that offered to collect it for free. They simply wanted the government to promise they'd never be charged for collecting it, but even that wasn't possible.
This shows the level of government in Mexico. Simply ridiculous. They're killing tourism.
You used to walk down 5th Avenue, you could go with your family, and it was like that. People on every corner blatantly offering you kotiks and all kinds of stuff out in the open because, well, the fewer tourists come for that same reason, the fewer customers there will be, and they were still charging everyone protection money, even the taco stands on the corners, even the laundromats.
Guys, this is true. In the Riviera Maya, every week there's at least one business that's forced to close its doors because of organized crime. They were being extorted with protection money demands increasing daily. A small business owner, a small merchant in Mexico should know that they will be extorted twice, once by the government and once by organized crime. Honestly, I think it's the same extortion just disguised.
The taxi drivers are screwing over the tourists, not only charging them excessive amounts, but also treating them badly. We're so backward that we don't even allow platforms like Uber to enter the airport. They could have made a direct highway from Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and Tulum, but chose not to. The tour agencies, the real estate companies, all of them just seeing how much they can get out of each tourist while giving them as little as possible. The arrogance of believing tourists would always come led them to kill the goose that laid the golden eggs.
Of course, that's the problem. If you look at the reviews and the international ratings about Mexico, about the Riviera Maya, specifically Tulum, Cancun, Playa del Carmen, even Isla Mujeres, you'll notice that there are a lot of very negative reviews. And there are a lot of people complaining about their experience in these cities, in these places, saying that even from the moment you step into the airport, you feel scammed. Anyone who has vacationed in those places knows this experience is real. That's the problem. They don't know how to take care of their most precious asset. They live off tourism and they don't know how to treat it with dignity. And look, in the Riviera Maya, there are very helpful people. Some hotels offer luxury treatment and excellent service, but after you leave, the entire experience feels like a scam. Don't forget that the first and last impression matters a lot. And basically, the first and last contact a tourist has with Cancun and the Riviera Maya. Well, many times it's with the taxi drivers.
When this is one of the most important sources of income in all of Mexico, everyone benefits from it being good, and that's how Mexicans are everywhere. If we don't change how we think and act, changing the government won't help. We'll only get worse, not better. We need to unite and organize with the mindset that everything should benefit the majority, since what doesn't benefit most people isn't worth pursuing.
I agree. Let's check out some of the comments. Tourism is dropping in the Riviera Maya. Like if you had a bad experience at Cancun airport. Many people have had this experience. The Riviera Maya wasn't dying, it was killed. 1,000 times better, Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. The government and cartels killed it. Just imagine. I mean, people apparently are very, very angry. Glad to hear this from a Mexican. I loved Playa del Carmen and nearby areas, but tourist treatment overshadows everything. It's a shame. Unless things change, they're headed for failure. Very true, and I've already mentioned something very important, which is that a lot of the tourism the Riviera Maya receives comes from Europe. But Europeans are starting to look elsewhere, to countries like Malaysia, Vietnam, and Thailand. And well, at the end of the day, these are countries that are at a very similar distance for them. They just have to turn the other way. And they are very modern countries, very safe, with spectacular beaches, super exotic with amazing hospitality. And that's why I think you have to be very careful with what's coming to Tulum, Cancun, and Playa. This person comments, but that's not true. There were many people on December 31st and January 1st, 2026. I've lived in Playa del Carmen for 21 years, they say, okay? But you yourself have said December 31st and January 1st, and here someone replies, and only those days, the rest of the year was depressing. Sorry, but even so, I was there on New Year's and many foreigners were disappointed by the New Year's event. Disappointing, including me and my family. I saw a foreign couple crying out of frustration. Just imagine, 2 days compared to the whole month of December and January full of people. Tourism has been declining and that can't be denied. That's true. I know many people will say there are more people now, tourism has returned. Yes, there are more people than before because it's high season, but that doesn't mean the problem has been solved. No, the crisis continues. That's the harsh reality of Tulum. If you don't believe me, watch the video recorded just days ago.
For those who are saying they're feeling fear of missing out for not being in Tulum right now, I'll have you check out the hotel zone, which was usually crowded. Many businesses literally closed down. Here they are. The area, Tulum's hotel zone currently, last days of Sabna parties, guys. Honestly, it's not fear of missing out if you're not here. I've seen many people say they're feeling fear of missing out for not being here. Look, this is what they don't teach you. It's what they don't teach you. Empty. Empty. Empty.
What a tragedy is happening in Tulum, Cancun, and Playa del Carmen. This year, I believe tourism will increase, but it will be artificial growth. The World Cup is coming, so this is obviously going to attract a lot more tourists from all over the world, but don't get too confident. Don't rest on your laurels. This will be artificial and temporary growth, but take advantage of the opportunity to improve and don't make the mistakes of the past again. Thank you all and see you next time.